I'm speaking to David Ash, the founder of the Cobra Experience. But before we get chatting about the Cobras, tell us about what we see in the background of your screen.
Arthur, we got some lovely Ferraris and Porsches here. So what we do is we do executive car storage as well for some customers in Cape Town. So when people do come to the Cobra Experience, we really get you into the mood. We've got beautiful Ferraris and Porsches and Lamborghinis, and obviously our beautiful backdraft racing Cobras. So when you sign up and you go through the paperwork, you're surrounded by beautiful cars. And we're in 19 Solon Road, and we're very lucky. We've got the archive as our neighbor. So when people come here, it's a real car area. So car enthusiasts really get involved in the day. And, it's just a bit of a prelude to what's coming, all these sports cars, and then you get to drive one. So it really is a great way to start the day.
I was quite startled how many cars you were able to put on the road. So for those who haven't had the Cobra Experience, please tell us what it is.
So I'm actually the agent for backdraft racing Cobras. But what I do is I allow people to go in one of the Cobras. Either we do rentals, which is very popular, and people come and they rent a car. Most popular is a 9 to 5. And we also do a sunset, which is 5 to 7:15, kind of time that you guys went out. So the business guys that are busy in the day, they don't get left out. We let them go and experience the Cobra Experience. You can have for 24 hours. But the best is that you get to drive this V8 classic sports car, and you can't do it anywhere else in the world. You get in this car. We've got the best roads in the country. A lot of guys in the full day obviously go to Chapman's Peak and drive around Cape Town. And it really is an experience second to none. A lot of tourists have been on helicopters and high mountains and boats, but they've never been in a Cobra or driven a Cobra. So we really give them something that they didn't know they could even do. And we even have people that come to South Africa on their holiday specifically because of the Cobra Experience. So we do say we're the most exciting experience available in Africa. And you've been on it, Arthur, so you could tell us what you thought.
It was hair-raising, actually, but only in the literal sense of the word, because of cruising around Chapman's Peak in an open-top car on a windy day. But it's the best way to get your hair raised that I can imagine.
Without a doubt. And that's my office.
Fantastic. Tell me, you said that it's the only place in the world where you can do it. They have muscle car experiences around the world. What's the difference?
They do. So there are guys that have maybe one Cobra around the world, and we send out fleets of multiple Cobras. We sometimes have 9 or 10 that go out together. We do a lot of corporate days like you did. A lot of guys that come into Cape Town with their families and they want to do something different. And when we do have those days, we don't just send the guys out. There's a lot of planning that goes into it. We work out where the safe stops are, where the safe photo ops are, where there's parking, what restaurants can accommodate 9, 10, 12 cars. We have guys on Harleys that follow you and escort you for safety. We've got either Jeeps or Pradas that my guys are in and mechanics are in as a backup. So we really do pre-plan for anything that can happen, and we give the cars just the most amazing day. We take we only give them the good stuff. We do all the planning behind the scenes. They hop in the car, they get the keys, big smiles, they drop the cars and off they go back to their hotels. We fuel them up. We do the cleaning, all the dirty stuff. So it really is a day that they remember. We have a lot of people that get married that get engaged in our cars, a lot of proposals. And obviously our cars go to a lot of weddings as well for the wedding photos. So they literally do sit for generations in these photos. And we're just dealing with, we say live life, Cobra Experience, and we believe it.
You look and sound like you're having far too much fun for this to be a job.
It's very hard work, but we love what we do. And we've got a great team around us. And, when you hop in a Cobra, you only smile. So I don't have to tell you, you saw it, but everyone loves Cobras. From 3-year-olds, 4-year-olds are waving at us to 95-year-olds are waving at us. And everyone just makes way and put a smile on their face, and out come the cell phones and they film it and they go like this, which means rev the car up. So it's got its own lingo, the Cobras. And everyone just smiles when they see a Cobra.
So let's talk about the Cobra itself and what you've actually done with these Cobras, because my understanding is this is not your standard Cobra, right?
Correct. We've modified these for rentals. So our particular fleet, we run a Lexus motor in it. It's a modern motor. So a couple of reasons why we've done that. We've standardized all our motors right across the board. It's a very powerful, strong motor. It's a Toyota. It can handle a lot of heat. And for us, we only have to run parts for one motor. My mechanics know the motor backwards. But for a customer, it's very efficient. So our breakdowns are extremely low compared to other motors, and we're fuel efficient. So we do use less petrol, so it costs the customer less money in the long run. So that's just one of the things we've done, but a lot of modifications on the car, from the boot mechanisms, the door mechanisms, the seat belts we're using, the way we worked closely with the factory on keeping these cars cool, because Cape Town has a lot of mountains and it's fun to be on the mountains. But going up and down the mountains puts pressure on the gearboxes, which heat them up, so the cars can overheat. So a lot of time and effort was put in with the factory to make sure that these cars, running effectively and efficiently.
And the body itself, I believe, is not imported but manufactured locally.
Correct. So our factory is a local factory. It's Backdraft Racing. Tony Martin started the factory. Tony's claim to fame is one of the top racers in the country. He's won multiple races around the world. He started Backdraft Racing, and he worked very closely with me to make sure that we have this rental car that's very efficient and reliable. And as I said, I'm actually the agent for Africa for the Cobra Experience and for Backdraft. So we also end up building people their dream cars. They come to me and they say, Dave, I want to build, I'm retired or got some money. I've always had a dream of a car. And we take that concept, and a couple of months later, we deliver their dream car down to the type of leather, the color of the leather, where they want their name on the car, what type of dashboard, instruments, wheels, tires, paint, everything. We create that dream and give it to them.
Then the chassis, I believe, also has a story.
Well, the chassis are designed by Tony himself, and a lot of R&D went into from his racing days. A lot of R&D was done in the UK and racing there. We're on our 4th generation of the chassis at the moment. And the chassis that I have for our rentals are strengthened. These cars go out every day. The average guy that buys a Cobra uses it maybe once or twice a month for a lovely leisure drive. Our cars go out every single day. They work really hard. So my Cobras are probably the most, I don't know if it's it, but most traveled Cobras in the world.
So that's quite a combination. The chassis, the body, the engine, and then the modifications all have your signature on it. And it's almost unrecognizable from the original Cobra. How do you maintain that legacy of the original, I mean?
So Backdraft, it's their reimagined version of the original. So they all look and feel the same from the outside. But when you get inside a Backdraft, it's a very different car. It's very reliable, very fast. I think at the Desi racetrack, we faster around that track than the motorbikes are. So it really is a racing car. It's a true thoroughbred racing car. But we at Cobra Experience have come up with a combination that's fast, fun, and safe. So when people do hire from us, we say, you're not going to race out there. You're going to enjoy the cars. You want to hear the sound of the car, feel the wind in your hair, return back safely. We don't want guys landing up in the ocean or in the mountains. So it's been years of honing the car, getting the balance right. We have even down to how the mapping of the motors are to give everyone the best combination. All our cars are automatics. We have a lot of foreigners that drive our cars, and a lot of foreigners, as you know, take public transport every day. So they haven't driven cars in a long time. And a lot of guys think they're Michael Schumacher, and they're not. So we really try and give the right balance of car that you feel the speed, you feel and hear the sound, but it's safe. Which you went out, you said hair raising. It's hair raising, safe and fun.
So given all these precautions and all the safety measures and all the rules, I imagine that things still do go wrong. What disasters have you had over the years?
Our biggest problem we have is people getting too close to the side of the mountain and touching the wheels. So we used to run 17 and 18-inch wheels, which look amazing, a hard drive, We've now just switched to 15-inch wheels because the wheel itself, the tire, has a bit of a balloon to it. So if you do get close to the side of the mountain or in Cape Town, everything's granite. It literally bounces the car off. So it's much safer for the guy driving the car, safer for my cars. So we've just gone through a very big exercise, spending a lot of money, and we've just switched all our cars. The last two, we're waiting for the tires to arrive in South Africa. But literally about 3 weeks ago, 4 weeks ago, we bought every tire that was available for our cars and all the rims that we could find, and we've made that switch. So as I said, it's an ongoing thing. We have tracking in our vehicles. We've got cameras in our vehicles. We're about to go on a new, very exciting system where we're going to hopefully be able to give them radio communications wherever they go, free of charge. In our groups, we give everyone a two-hour radio. They can talk to their buddies, but more importantly, from a safety point of view, we can talk to them. So we keep pushing the envelope. We keep trying to make the experience more fun, but safer at the same time.
That makes it sound like this is actually a gadget that you're putting out there.
It does, yeah, it feels like a gadget. Boys like their toys. But at the end of the day, as I said, there's a lot of planning that goes on behind the scenes, but we do try and make it as easy as possible for the customers and the most enjoyment. And what is happening after COVID, a lot of South Africans are becoming our customers, which didn't happen pre-COVID. So at least South Africans are enjoying what we're doing. And a lot of guys are coming out for birthday parties to Cape Town. They're taking 3, 4, 5 Cobras with the family, and they're saying they love it. From the grandmother to the kids, they say it's one of the best things they've ever done.
On that note, you made the comment about boys with their toys, but I noticed on our ride, it certainly wasn't the case because girls love the toys as well.
You are 100% right. Today I have three separate I have 3 cars went out with ladies, driver and passenger. We have more and more ladies that come from all over the world, and they take the cars. In South Africa, what's very popular is a lot of ladies come to Cape Town for a ladies' weekend, and they do chauffeur drives because then we can take them to one estate and they can drink, because obviously drinking and driving in our cars, and we're very strict on that. So that has become very popular, and everything today, I don't have to tell you, is about Instagram, photographs, videos. So they love it.
Cool. One last question then is about the engine itself. Tell us about how that engine has been adapted and what kind of power it gives you and how that adds to the experience.
So it's a Lexus 4-liter V8. We run engine management systems behind the scenes, and the maps, it's taken us years to come up with the right maps. So our power charts are there that we give the client a nice pull and he feels the experience, but doesn't lose control of the car. And that's hours on the dyno tuning, hours out on the road, multiple maps. We've got a full-time mechanic at Cobra Experience as well. So the cars, everything we do is preventative maintenance. So we have a very strict rotation of our cars from bushes we literally replace the car every year. Every part of the car gets replaced. And it's very rigid regiment that we follow. And that is what keeps our cars on the road with happy customers 99.9% of the time.
The level of technology and research and development that's gone into it makes this a real high-tech, feel-good story and not just a sports car or automotive story. Would you agree with that?
I would, so much so that, Backdraft is an international success from South Africa. About 23 cars a month are sent to the US. There's probably about 10,000 Backdrafts in the US now. So I'm very proud of the fact that we got this partnership with Backdraft, and I'm the agent, and my whole fleet is Backdraft Racing Cobras. And the technology never stops. When I go to the factory, I'm blown away by the R&D that goes in. And the R&D even at my office, we permanently pushing the envelope of how we can give customers that fun, but at the same time being safe and reliable.
That's an amazing story. Thank you, David.
Arthur, thank you. It's only been a pleasure to be with you on your show.